Part 2. Accessories and components of the RIT Rescue Air Pack or the Dragon Bag. We'll start off by taking a look at the two utility kits which contain cutting tools for entanglement situations.
So the utility kit itself, this is directly from our members. This is one of the suggestions that our membership had, is to take the tools out of the utility kit and put them in, or out of the Rescue Air Pack and put them in separate utility kits. So we go with a 4-member deployment, typically the officer, then we have the air nav firefighter with the search rope and the Rescue Air Pack, and then we have our primary searching firefighters who would be carrying these utility kits. Inside our utility kits, this is the same complement of tools on Elm Grove and Wauwatosa. We have a cable cutter. We have a Fiskars, multi-snips, and then we have a side cutter. So the side cutter and the Fiskars are protected so they don't wear through the bag, but the utility kit has reinforced material on the bottom, so a little bit more durability. You'll notice that on our cutting tools, they all have lanyards. Here's a big component that's really important for everybody to be aware of. We keep the lanyard keeper all the way near the handle, so we have the full length of the tool when we actually go for deployment. So, quick review on this. Remember, on the spring-loaded side cutters, that's the other advantage of the lanyard. It keeps them closed. We open it up, and now you see that I got the full use of the tool. I can go to working and cutting, I can release it, and I still don't have to worry about losing the tool. So I always have it in my possession. I cinch the lanyard back up. It also closes the side cutters. The Fiskars multi-snips has actually a lock on it, so I have that ability to lock it and close it off. But that lanyard keeper's in the same position. It's also in the same position on the cable cutter. Okay? These three tools we found after extensive studying will pretty much cover any entanglement situation that you're going to encounter. So a lot of versatility of these tools, but we've narrowed it down to 3. We keep our crescent wrench, so the crescent wrench that we use for gas shutoffs when we're doing our 360s, we keep that in the bottom of the bag. Again, versatility of the bag, for other departments, if they purchase this, you can just put your cutting tools right in the bottom of the bag as well if you wanted to. Alright, so let's talk about storage. So again, just like we have on the carrying strap with the utility kits, we have the carabiner. Same thing that we have with the webbing, same rock lock, screw gate, key stop. This gives us the versatility of actually carrying the bag. So option 1, probably the simplest, is whether we're carrying the utility kits inside the bag or storing them on the outside. Simplest option, Scott, I'm going to have you kind of turn my way. Remember, on Elm Grove, Wauwatosa, we have our escape systems in our right pants pocket. That's pretty much a standard. So our left pants pocket may be vacant. Okay, if it is, the simplest thing for you to do is open up the utility kit. Yeah, bring that knee down, Scott. Take this and then just stuff the whole utility kit in your pocket with the flap folded over. And then bring your pants pocket flap over the top of that, and you have access to all 3 tools. If you look at the profile of the utility kit itself, it's kind of a half-bag design. So all the handles of the tool and the lanyards are easily accessible for you to access them. If you don't like this additional bulk of the utility kit, yes, you can take the tools out and simply put all of them in your pants pocket. Again, we would recommend that you keep all the tips protected, even though we got Kevlar reinforced in our pants pocket. Put all your tools in there, it's just going to help protect it. So that's option 2. Take the tools out and put them in your pants pocket. Or, remember, we got, now that we're carrying our radios on the shoulder straps, we also have a radio pocket open. You can put additional cutting tools there if you didn't have your own. If you look at the back of the bag, we have a full-length strap. It's actually stitched, overlapped. This is the latest design that Troy came up with. Stitched over the top and bottom. On MSA, so on Elm Grove and Wauwatosa, we have the MSA, SCBA, they all have chest straps. What that allows us to do is, depending on your height and where this actually falls, it might be easier for some members just to simply clip the carabiner to that chest strap, and then I'm going to come to Scott's waist strap, I'm going to pop it, and now I'm going to run the waist strap through that vertical strap on the utility kit, and it's low profile. So if we talk about this in dive rescue, where we have that magical box or that triangle where everything is within easy reach, easy accessibility, and with our hands, Scott's down, he's in that 4-point crawl along, it's nice and profile, nothing's dragging. If you want it a little bit tighter, not everyone's going to need this beaner. So he can, in essence, run the chest strap through that vertical strap. You see it's a little bit more work to do, but it keeps it even a little bit closer to the body than the carabiner, okay? Now, if you didn't want to do that, I'm going to have you fasten everything back up, Scott. Again, you got your accessory of your escape and utility belt. You can take the provided carabiner, clip it right to it. Remember, we always go with a rear-facing gate, so we have that forward release. So you can have it just hanging here. Again, if your escape belt wasn't accessible, you can clip it right to your SBA waist strap. If you didn't want to do that, you could run the SBA waist strap all the way through. So again, that functionality, that versatility that our membership was looking for, the separate utility kits with design gives us those options.
Now let's take a look at the elements of the air pack, or specifically the components that are inside the Dragon bag.
Again, find that, release the flap, you have the bag all the way open. Now, the pack that we have in Elm Grove and on the city of Wauwatosa is the MSA Rescue Air 2, okay? So we'll talk about all the features. We have the 1 hour bottle. Remember, the 1 hour bottle is 88 cubic feet. Our frontline bottles are the 45-minute or 66 cubic feet. The reason we went with the 1 hour bottle is, remember, we may not be addressing just a single firefighter that's lower out of air. We could have multiple firefighters out, and the more air that we have, it's not just pressure, high pressure, that's what we are, 4,500 PSI, but it's also volume. So we have the high pressure and the 88 cubic feet with the 1 hour bottles. That gives us a maximum amount of air to transfill to multiple firefighters. That's why we went with this configuration. And this bag accommodates that. So, the face piece. We have this pre-attached. So the one thing that separates the Rescue Air 2 is off the first stage regulator is the extender manifold, and I'll show you a close-up of that. So the face piece has the MMR pre-connected with the bypass valve closed. You'll notice that we have the harness of the face piece folded over. That's for a specific reason. I don't do that with my normal SCBA, but we do it for the RIT pack. That's so if we come across a firefighter that, and I'll get into more detail with this when we get into the lower out of air emergencies, if they don't have their face piece on, we can put it right to their head. You'll notice that we've modified the harness, put a section of holes in there, so we can simply pull it right over their head. Everything is firefighter user friendly. We have the large rings right here, so you can easily access them with your firefighting gloves. Remember, we always go chin first, and then we finish up with the temple. So that's all pre-set up. We keep that lens, or that harness, folded over the lens for that reason, so we can get it onto a firefighter's face immediately without any hesitation. So, it's going to be tough for you to see this, and when we get into actually storing this, I'll show you all the different, the layout and the setup, but right now I'm just going to kind of release the components. So Scott, I'm going to have you come out. One of the big additions that we put on Wauwatosa's pack, Elm Grove had it for a while, is a 25-foot high-pressure quick-fill transfill line. Now, this gives us a lot more versatility. I'll get into the applications for it when we get into part 4, but it's piggybacked onto the original high-pressure line. That one snap, all I got to do is give it to my partner, and he can extend this out. The way it's designed in the bag is it comes out pretty quickly. He's got full length of it, running out to where he needs to. You'll notice on the second portion of it, this is where we have it connected up to the original high-pressure quick-fill transfill line. If we didn't need that full length, we can disconnect it. And this is a line that's attached to the first stage regulator. So if I just pull the bottle up, you're going to get a better view of it. Here's our original line, about 3 feet. That 25 is piggybacked onto that. Now, Scott, if you want to give me that working end. One of the things that we just recently added on Elm Grove and Wauwatosa, based on the feedback of some of our members, was a strobe light. So you look at the working end, we're feeding this down to members that are trapped in a base, and we're feeding this down through maybe a base window that has security bars. It's really smoky. We're not worried about flash where they just need to top each other off. We can feed this down as it's coming down to them. They have that flash and strobe to see where the line is. If somebody happened to drop it on the ground, they find that strobe, relocate it. As of now, on both Elm Grove and Wauwatosa, this is still kind of in in a trial or testing period to see if our members like it, if it interferes, if it causes more problems than good. But right now the feedback's been pretty decent on them. So here's the big difference between Elm Grove and Wauwatosa. On Wauwatosa we have the extend air hose. So Elm Grove doesn't have this as of now. That's coming off the extend air manifold port. So here's our first stage regulator. Comes in the extend air. The face piece is pre-attached, okay? And here's our second hose. Again, a little bit longer than your typical MMR hose. If you see the length difference, okay? Get about another foot. Remember, our members have the option of breathing off this pack at the same time we're transfilling air. So I could be transfilling air and 2 firefighters can literally be breathing off this pack. Again, I'm going to go into this in more detail when we get into lower out of air emergencies, and again in part 4. But we have the option of disconnecting, hooking up to our own, and sharing air, or breathing off the RIT pack. The other feature of the Rescue Air too, if you notice these 2 attachment points, this one's kind of covered up because we don't use it. But right here originally was a shoulder strap that MSA provides. We took that off and we added another black diamond rock lock screw gate carabiner. So we have the ability, envision that a firefighter has their SCBA on, if they needed to stay pre-attached to this system, envision they lost their face piece, they're tethered to this, we can clip this right to their SCBA waist strap or their escape belt, or we can strap this right on that down firefighter. Bottle always stays closed. Why? Because we have it pre-attached to the face piece. If we open up the cylinder valve prior to deployment, if for whatever reason this got bumped and opened up the regulator, the second stage regulator, or the bypass got bumped, we'd be bleeding air before we got to our objective. So we always keep the bottle closed until we actually reach the down firefighter, then we open up the cylinder valve. So those are our components. Let's get into storage.